Hey everybody, this is AG here. So I've been playing a bit off for a bit, and I've gotten a few things. I've gotten basically everything except for this last ring, and I'm probably gonna get that later because grinding only like 1,000 takes a while in this area, so I don't want to spend too much time just running around in here to... Yeah, I didn't want to spend too much time just running around without actually doing stuff. But I did want to show what I was doing to grind. It's actually quite simple. Surprisingly so. So what I do is I go to Agrabah. I go to Agrabah and I go... And I go all the way back over here, and it spawned. Okay, so as you'll notice, there are a bunch of pots just lying around. The ones on the edges right there don't have anything, but if you start moving around, you'll notice that you're able to lightly push them, except for one. As you can see, one of them has actually stayed in that spot. So what I've been doing to grind money is destroy every pot but that one. This takes a little bit of time. Few more of these pots. Don't want to accidentally slap the one that's not moving. Honestly, I couldn't tell you how you were supposed to get this actually, but from just this method of just going around and getting all of these and not hitting that, you have about 100 each time you do this, and then you could just leave and then come back, and sometimes that enemy will respawn. I think I have to actually go all the way back over to the save point to get it to work. I might as well just try that. Normally I would just clear out all of the enemies in Agrabah and then do this. But yeah, I've effectively just been doing that. Yeah, so I could probably show that enemy at another time, but I don't really want to go into it. Instead, I just want to go to the next world. I've been thinking on which one to go to. This one up here and this one down here. Most people go up this route, but I'm actually going to go over here, and I'm going to explain why a bit later. I completely forgot how you shoot in this, because I've been over at CB's house a bit this week, trying to help him get the last gummy ship missions done. So I got kind of turned around when it comes to the I got a little turned around when it comes to the... Why am I lost for words? It's the controls. Don't know why that was so hard for me to say, but... I was gonna be right there. Huh. Yeah, so I think I mentioned previously that the governorship missions overall, when it comes to the series, people either really hate them and try to avoid them as much as possible, or are mildly okay with it and still not do everything. There it is. I don't know why you can't skip any of Donald's, like, dialogue when it comes to those. I've kind of been noticing it over the past few episodes that they've been having dialogue inside of this, but you can't skip Donald's text at all. In fact, it pops up late and then it shows up. So I don't know why he would think it would be a window. I mean, it's clearly a door with no handle, but I guess. I believe this is one of those scenes that was added in Final Mix, but I can't actually be sure.
Hey, Sora! Are you okay?
What are you guys doing? Where are we anyway?
I was looking at my audio, I was like, wait, is something wrong? And I was like, oh, wait, no.
Oh,
It's
you
fine.
know, I think that big old whale Monstro just swallowed us. And for
Do
today's
we get this
weather,
item?
expect showers. Oh, heavy showers.
Hey! Who's there? It's me! Oh, it's just Pinocchio! Pinocchio!
Pinocchio? Pinocchio, where are you going? Pinocchio! Come on, everybody, after him, quick!
So now we're in Monstro, which is actually kind of interesting. So if you'll remember on the map, there was a blank place in the sort of like map layout that in the way that I went. It doesn't show up in this blank spot, but it is kind of
What have you got there, Pinocchio?
hinted that you're supposed to go here first.
We can get out of here, Father!
Really? With this big block? You think so?
It's true. So, how did you end up here, Pinocchio?
Oh my, so the whale swallowed all of you too? My goodness!
Yeah, looks like it.
My name is Geppetto. I'm Pinocchio's father. When we got separated, I traveled all over looking for him. Thank
goodness we're together again. So, you seem to know Pinocchio quite well. I hope he was a good boy in my absence. Well, we've all had quite a journey, right, Pinocchio? Pinocchio!
Okay. Whoa. Camera's a little bit funky right there. Okay, so now we're in Monstro. And we could go back up to the gummy ship so I can... I'm gonna go back up to the gummy ship just so I can show you. So, if you were to go up here, Monstro would be sitting like right like in that sort of region. And it is kind of like... It does kind of seem like you're supposed to have Monstro sitting in there because there's a world there and that feels a lot cramped sitting up there. You know? So I always just go over here and put Monstro over here, and I'm gonna go back over to this world, which is a lot harder. But it does kind of... The game is kind of pointing you towards, hey, you should go here first because it's easier. So I was just checking something. I was like, hey, this one's easier, go here first, and then you hit in a world just before that. So I found that kind of interesting. We have to sit through this animation again because the game doesn't really expect us to come here more than once in the actual game, so... Forgot where bum was jump. That time I didn't. My gosh. Oh, I can't even get there anyway. Oh well. Oh. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to reach it. Yeah, as you can tell, the camera really doesn't like this ship right here. It's, doesn't like being pointed in that direction. So we might as well, go find Pinocchio in here. So, Monstro is a maze. And it's a pretty annoying one at that.
You know, Geppetto's awfully worried about you.
Pinocchio, stop fooling around. This is no time for games.
But Sora, I thought you liked games. Or are you too cool to play them now that you have the Keyblade?
Riku? What are you doing here?
Just playing with Pinocchio.
You know what I mean. What about Kairi? Did you find her?
Maybe. Catch us, and maybe I'll tell you what I know.
Oh, come on!
So these ghost enemies have always been kind of neat in their design, but they feel really out of place in this world. But I think it's mainly so that they can show what these enemies actually look like. Because you see them in another world, but they have a completely different design in that world. On goes the chamber 2. Chamber 3. So we should probably just go in order. Got it. Let's open this. Another thing I probably will never use. I have no idea what the purpose of that would be. Yeah, it appears that I can't remember if I knew that using gravity was so effective against these guys. Like, clearly you're getting, like, extra stuff out of them because of it, but... Oh, item. And they're just dropping a lot of stuff for me. Okay, got them. Now... Yeah, so... if you can't tell, I'm half wandering, half trying to go off of muscle memory of which path to go down. But yeah, Monstro as a whole is basically just a really big labyrinth inside of the whale's organs, which kind of makes no sense. Like, oh, puppies. Blue Trinity. Yeah, I will attempt to get all of the I will attempt to get all of the weapons and show off pretty much all of the enemies in the game, because I just realized that there are some enemies that do not show up until there is a certain moment in the some enemies won't show up until you've finished the game. And then you, like, it's not New Game Plus, but not until you load your save load your save after finishing the game. So there's a good chance that there's gonna be like an ending part and then like an episode afterwards, like showing some of that stuff off. Oh, what's that? Yay. Like, I know that tents and cottages are kind of a staple in Square Enix games of like, here's a healing item to use outside of battle to fully heal you and or your team. Fully heal you and your team. I understand that that's sort of the I get that's sort of like a staple, but it's hard. It's hard to actually use them. I don't really like them as much as some people.
I don't care about him. I was just messing with him a little.
Oh, really? Of course you were. Beware the darkness in your heart. The heartless prey upon it.
Mind your own business.
Riku! What's the matter with you? What are you thinking? Don't you realize what you're doing?
I was about to ask you the same thing, Sora. You only seem interested in running around and showing off that Keyblade these days. Do you even want to save Kairi?
I do.
What an ominously placed save point. Okay, so I'm gonna end the episode and I'll see you guys next time.